All right. Well, welcome in once again, Jesse Rass, MJ from Mixed Mornings here on Mix 106.9. And with us, of course, once again, is Tim Laird, America's Chief Entertaining Officer.
Great to be with you guys again. It is cocktail time. As you can see, we're getting our glasses prepped. And if you recognize this glass, and I know MJ does, because you have an actual hurricane.
It's my collector's item.
I mean, this thing's vintage.
It is vintage from Hurricane O'Malley's here in Louisville from many moons ago.
Well, then we're going to have to make a hurricane to go in that vintage glass. And
it's amazing how much bigger hers is than ours.
Weird. I don't know why that's like that.
Sure, whatever.
And this is a simple, easy recipe I like. This was actually in our second book, Cocktails and Appetizers. So it starts out, I'm going to make a picture version, but we'll post the individual cocktails.
Yeah, so if you want to make one at home, we've done the math. We've reduced that for you in the comments of the video.
Good, because I'm not doing any math.
But there's 3 of us, so it's just easier to make a pitcher.
Right. So a pitcher, I've got 4.5 ounces of rum.
Okay.
And then 4.5 ounces of pineapple juice.
Yum.
4.5 ounces of orange juice.
Yum.
Boom, that goes in. And a little 4.5 ounces of lemonade.
Yum.
And then 3 splashes of grenadine, because if you make it on your own, one individual, you want it just a splash. So it really doesn't matter. You don't have to measure this thing.
Okay.
Just a splash is good. So there's 3 splashes.
Already
and of course,
pretty.
there's
so this
that
is a
color.
stir cocktail.
Yes,
okay.
it is. Stirred with a little ice, and then I'll tell you what, we'll start with the vintage.
You don't have to fill that.
No, that's.
I mean, you can.
That's not a requirement.
Wow.
I thought they would be much more complicated.
No.
You know, I did too. I've never had one because I feel like the same thing. It's like, I don't want to be that guy that orders a drink and the bartender's like,
yeah, nobody wants to be that guy.
And you know what? It's great for if you have a lot of people over. It's easy to multiply because it's equal parts of all those mixers.
Right.
And then, of course, we'll top you off. That's a big glass.
It's a big glass.
But I'll tell you what, and here's the garnish, a little cocktail cherry and orange. Kind of decorate our hurricane like that. Boom. And now let's see how we did.
Okay.
And
use 2 hands for this one.
all right. Cheers.
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 Yes. Oh, that's good.
Isn't that good?
It took me 5 minutes to get there because it's so
I know.
big, but it's
these
very
glasses
good.
are so big. I could have doubled our recipe. I should have doubled it. But
well,
really,
that's fine.
delicious.
That's really
really good. You see?
delicious. I'll tell you what. As they say, I think this drink will blow you away when you try
Oh my goodness.
it. Oh, stop it.
Well, you got to be careful with this because my nose has a little bit of frostbite, and then the eye of the storm is right here with the toothpick. You're like, ah!
Yeah, you know what? Probably a long straw would be appropriate,
Oh,
too.
for sure. But no, this is delicious.
Really good.
And here's what's really cool. So, Tim, the consummate overachiever. So last week we talked about your hurricane glass,
right?
Because we're talking about bar stuff. He's like, "Oh, we'll make a hurricane next week," and then we get here and he's like, "Actually, I'm going to make 2 hurricanes."
Yes.
Why not?
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, the second hurricane is great because it's more kind of New Orleans centric, where passion fruit is one of the major ingredients in that. So I'm going to show you kind of more of a New Orleans style. I like this for parties and for home and easy use. The second one's easy too, but it'll be definitely different than this. So
okay, all right.
Like
so
get that put together.
we're gonna sip.
Yeah.
We're gonna let other people behind the scenes do work because
we're going to do this. And what I really love too, it's not as complicated as I thought. So again, you just leave the rum out.
Mm-hmm.
You got a delicious, pretty beverage, for those that don't partake. So
exactly. All right.
I love that. You all right? Oh wow, that's really going to get you.
Well, that's what the alcohol is there for, so to cut out on the pain there. So all right, okay.
Yeah,
well, reset. Did you miss us?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So long.
I know, right? Through the magic of editing. So all right.
We went away because we had to finish our hurricanes.
That's true.
We had to test those thoroughly.
Absolutely.
But now we're back.
We did. We did. We're back. We're ready. We're ready to trudge on through. So all right. So this is hurricane number 2.
Yes.
Category 2.
Was category. Oh, this category 2. I like that. I was going to say this is a meteorologist's dream. 1 video, 2 hurricanes.
I mean,
We need like special hurricane goggles.
we don't
Oh,
need those.
we need the goggles. We need to get all excited. There's another hurricane coming in.
There's like 3 of you that are getting that joke out there, and then there's 1 person that might get mad.
Do I think there's going to be a hurricane? I do.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. All right. So
now
here we go.
This is
Second hurricane. You can tell we had the first one already. It's a train wreck.
now I like this one. This is a little bit more kind of New Orleans, as we said, because now passion fruit's coming into it, but we still have rum. But this one actually has two kinds of rum. So I have 6 ounces of light rum, and to that 6 ounces of aged rum, like an añejo or whatever.
Okay.
So 6 ounces of that.
And just a reminder, we're making this for a pitcher. So if you want make per glass, that's in the comment section.
Right,
so
right.
don't go,
Don't pass out just yet.
There's not 12 ounces of rum in one cocktail.
No.
This is for several. So, and then 6 ounces of passion fruit juice goes in.
Okay.
To that, 3 ounces of orange juice.
Okay.
And then 1.5 ounces of freshly squeezed lime juice goes in.
Ooh, okay.
And about 1.5 ounces or 1 ounce of simple syrup. And then 3 tablespoons of grenadine. So it still has that hurricane red color to it.
Right.
And I'll give this a little stir, get everything all mixed up.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
I like that.
Oh, I like this a lot. This is going to be a little different. Like I said, with the passion fruit and the aged rum and light rum combination.
MJ's got her Hurricane O'Malley's.
Oh, yeah.
Hurricane glass. Vintage.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That goes there.
That might be the only thing that's still around from Hurricane O'Malley's.
Definitely. There's no photographic evidence of when we got this. So,
that and there might be a couple people still hung over.
It's possible. It's possible. Oh my gosh.
All right. See, when you bring a big glass, you get a bigger pour.
I didn't realize it was that big comparatively.
This is what happens. This is what happens.
Okay.
And then our same garnish, orange, cherry. Boom, that goes in. We'll put this to the side. And then we thought, you know what? Maybe we should use straws for easier consuming.
I had a large nose, so it got a little frostbitten.
A little tricky with
and we won't lose an eye in the garnish. All
All
right,
right,
here we
jump
go. Let's test it out, see how it compares.
Cheers.
Boom, boom, boom. Cheers. Here we go.
All right, passion fruit. Ooh, that's good.
And it's different, though. Completely different than the first one.
Completely different.
Completely different.
And that's what I like about this. I mean, I think it's fun to go on, try both recipes, see which ones you like, maybe do a vote and see what your favorite is. But because they're definitely two different. But as they say in New Orleans, laissez bon temps rouler.
That's right.
Let the good times roll.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you got that one.
Yeah,
I didn't quite get that one. Yeah.
And you definitely, the aged rum puts a different taste
a little
to
more
it.
sophistication to it.
I will say the first one that you made is more of a hurricane for beginners.
Yes.
I'd say that one's probably a little bit easier. Well, I mean, that's like a
Category 1.
barely a tropical storm, mostly a tropical storm.
This has the potential for a Category 4 disaster.
And the one thing about the first one is it's all the ingredients are easy. The only ingredient you really got to look for is the passion fruit nectar, which is out there. You can find it. So.
Yeah, but I mean, both are equally good. And you said
Still
said the first one is in your cookbook, which we happen to have just right there. Your first cookbook.
Right. Second one.
Second cookbook.
Cocktails and appetizers.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is available online.
Absolutely.
Amazon, certain bookstores as well. Highly recommend that. It's saved my butt a few times.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about hurricane glasses.
Right.
What's the deal? I mean, this is a very unique shape. What's the deal with this?
It's actually from a hurricane lamp. I don't know if you ever see those old hurricane lamps.
Okay. That makes
So-
I had no idea.
And so they thought, well, let's make a hurricane, but let's emulate the glass to make a hurricane lamp. So that's really where it
That's
came
where
from.
it comes from.
And
Okay.
a lot of it's rum-based,
Right.
the hurricanes, because after Prohibition, in New Orleans, they had a lot of rum. I mean, it was everywhere. So they had to figure out, what can we make with rum? And it turns out to be a hurricane.
A mess is what
It's a mess.
Yes.
It's a mess, but it's a good mess.
That's
Absolutely.
It is.
That's very interesting. I did not know
that
about
either. So there you go.
We're always learning.
Yeah, so we have both these recipes in the comment section of the video. Again, and we made pitchers, so you can do that. The math is relatively easy though on if you want to go up from a glass to a pitcher. So we'll put both those on there for you as well. So I know last time we talked because we talked a little bit about glassware, or maybe we didn't talk about in that video. We talked about your bar. But we said we were going to talk about that this time. Now that I've got a hurricane, it's hard to remember. Because one of the things that came up with the last cocktail
Oh yeah.
Yes.
was using the large wine glasses for champagne.
Right.
And not flutes.
Not flutes. I was on a mission there still on a mission to ban the flute. I think it's the most ridiculous
Think it's
glass
highfalutin?
ever invented. Well, it just doesn't work. It doesn't hold anything. You got to slowly pour into it. If you want a mimosa, there's no room in there. It's hard to drink from, like you said. And a white wine glass can do double duty. Why buy an extra set of glasses? And so really, if you're going to start with the basics, you don't have to buy wine flutes, but just get a white wine glass, maybe a bigger bowl for reds or other things, and then maybe a cocktail glass, martini glass, and that's it. And a tall glass, what they call a Collins, and rocks glass or old fashioned. So really, that's all the glasses you need, and it's kind of fun. I'll have to show you maybe next time on the wine glasses. You'll see that if you look at your wine glass, just pull out a wine glass, you'll see wherever the bowl starts to change shapes.
Right.
And all the wine glasses have it. You pour it up to that line right before it changes shape, and that's the proper pour into a wine glass.
Really?
Okay.
I had no idea.
All right. Well, we'll have to cover that next time.
Yeah,
So-
I'll show.
Yeah.
On the next one, we'll show you.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Educational, not just about the party around
Right.
here.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're all about the responsibility, but there's
Yes.
so much more. And Tim is such a wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely.
Because, originally we started these videos, which if you're just now jumping on, because we were in the thick of the pandemic.
Right.
We were all at home. We couldn't go out to bars. And it was just one of those things. It was like,
Everybody's trying to learn something, so why not just put
Yeah.
it together?
yeah. Well,
Right?
actually, you know what it was? It was the video, the Negroni with Stanley Tucci.
That's right, because it was huge of
And
him
he's-
just doing it. And you've been doing the same thing, just without all the PR from
Yeah.
that
Right.
Stanley
right.
had.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, let's see if we get Tim to teach us a cocktail.
Sure.
And it became bigger like this. And, and it's still cool, even though that things are opening up and people can go out and more. I think still in that part of entertaining and being able to do this is great.
I agree, because people love to entertain. They're going to be entertaining a lot more at home and everything else. And now we have actually, through the cocktails, we have probably something for every single occasion that's out there.
I think so.
We got a deep
Yeah.
library.
Yeah,
we really
so-
do.
And if you're having a party, you can make all these by the pitcher and have it make it easy and fun.
And that's the great part, easy, because
Right.
it takes kind of the mystery out of it. Because like we were talking about before, I had no idea what was in a hurricane.
Right.
No.
No idea. I just knew I liked them. And this, you can do this. This is not rocket science.
Right.
So yeah.
And to be honest, as much as I do like, there is something. My wife, I made her cocktail the other night, and she's just like, it's not the same as a bartender making it. And I was like,
Oh,
what are you trying to say about
wait
it?
a minute.
I mean, I could charge you $10 for
I was
it.
going
It
to say,
would
you
be the same.
charge her
Why don't you
$10 and ignore her for the rest of the night.
Well,
'Cause-
it is cheaper to
Yeah.
when you can make the same things at home.
Put on a vest and charge her $12.
there you go.
and shake and smile.
Yeah.
But listen, you don't have to use a hurricane glass for these. So any white wine glass or red wine glass will work, or even just the tall glasses.
Yeah.
Collins glass works
Absolutely.
perfectly. So
Red
don't worry if you don't have the hurricane glass.
them.
I mean, if you
Or a red solo cup, because it'll match the cocktail.
There
Actually.
Sure,
you
that's
go.
why.
If you have a souvenir, by all means, use it.
When's the last time you got that glass out?
When I moved, and it was just to move it. So that's, I'm sure it doesn't know how to act, actually, having an actual hurricane in it right now. So.
All right. Well, that's probably a bad omen. So
Well.
anyway, all right. So we'll have another cocktail next week. You said you got a fun summer one for
I
us.
got one. This is called the CEO's Summer Sipper.
Ooh, I like
I'll tell you
that.
what,
All right.
I fell in love with this drink.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. The CEO Summer Sipper from America's Chief Entertaining Officer. See
There you
that?
go. It all works together. I like it.
All right. Until next time. Cheers, everyone.
Yes.
Cheers.
Enjoy responsibly.
Yes.